Hello my dears, and welcome back to my corner of the internet. I'm Shannon, and today I've got a very exciting video to share with you guys. Today I am doing a collab with my dear YouTube friend Chloe. Her channel is called Always Booked. It will of course be linked down in the description box below. Make sure you go and check her channel out because she's going to be talking about her favorites of these exact same things. And today we are talking about our favorite holiday / Christmas book tropes. And I'm very excited to talk about this. I don't think I've ever done a video on my channel about favorite tropes. So if you are here from Chloe's channel, hello, welcome. Like I said, I'm Shannon. I'm so happy to get to know you. And let's just get on into it. The first and perhaps biggest book trope that I love for Christmas and the holidays is that cozy small town setting. Maybe that has something to do with the fact that for the majority of my life I've lived in small towns, but there's just something so magical about a small town at Christmas. You know, cities are great too, and you know, I've seen so many beautiful cities done up for Christmas, but there's just something about that small town feel. The way everyone puts up their lights in a sort of offering to their neighbors, like look what we've done. I love that. I love that. I also love the way that a small town comes together at Christmas time. There's just a lot of fellowship and reaching out and helping neighbors. So many times in the town I live in now and in other towns, you'll see someone who's struggling, you know, a family that's struggling, and the whole town comes together to lift that family up, to help them, to make their Christmases better. And I just love it so much. And yeah, that's gotta be my #1 favorite story setting for Christmas stories. Just those beautiful small towns. Another trope that I absolutely love is old friends reuniting. I love it. You know, girl goes home for Christmas and maybe there's an old friend that she hasn't seen in years. Maybe it's even like a second chance romance, you know, someone who was a significant other in high school or college and they're reuniting with them. I love that. There's something about Christmas that lends itself so beautifully to just to love in general, but to that newfound or reignited love that I adore that. And also, again, just even if it's old friends, maybe an old family member they haven't seen in ages, I love that. And of course, I also love that new spark. They've met someone new and it's kindled at Christmas. There's just something about it. I don't read a ton of romance novels. You know, a lot of the books I read do have romantic elements, but the pure romance novels I just can't really get into. But at Christmas time, in Christmas stories, I love it. So definitely yes to that. Another one I love is getting snowed in. I love it when people are snowed in, whether that's family members, you know, maybe they're a busy family and they haven't had time to properly connect with each other in the past 12 months or in years, and they're snowed in and they kind of have to come face to face with each other and spend that quality time. Bonus points if not only are you snowed in, but maybe the cell phone reception has been knocked out. Love it. A lot of times with these kind of stories, you see people's true colors come out, whether that's in a positive way or a negative way. Maybe there's alcohol involved. Maybe they've had a little too much to drink and they're saying things and doing things that they wouldn't have otherwise. I love that. Next up, magical Christmas moments. I love that. A book talk I recently did was on a book called Comfort and Joy, and in that book talk I talk about how there are a lot of things happening in that book that in a regular everyday book I wouldn't be interested in, but you set that stuff at Christmas and all of a sudden I'm all over it. So yeah, just those magical moments, those things where you have to just suspend your disbelief and just let them happen. I love those moments. Whether that's, you know, kids seeing Santa or adults having miracles happen, whatever the case is, I just love it and I think it's so great. Next up, we have Christmases from the past. I love reading about Christmases from bygone eras. That might have something to do with my love of historical fiction and period pieces, but whether that presents itself as a character in a novel flashbacking to their past Christmases, or whether that's a whole book based on Christmases past. And I don't care if it's the 80s, the 90s, whether that's the 1990s, 1890s, or back. I just love hearing about Christmases past. I just love everything about it. And especially love when it gives us like a look into characters, a different kind of look into characters that maybe we wouldn't have had if we didn't have that backstory from their Christmases past. So those, you guys, are my favorite Christmas / holiday tropes. I also wanted to take this time to recommend to you guys my favorite Christmas book, my all-time favorite Christmas book, and it's fairly new release. It came out in 2017, and for the past 2 years I've done dedicated book talks on this book for 2 years in a row. It's a little much, so I've reined myself in so that I'm not doing that this year, but it would not be Christmas if I did not talk about this book. And for anyone who's been around my channel, been around my channel for a while, you know exactly what I'm going to mention. And that is Christmas at the Vinyl Cafe by Stuart McLean. Stuart McLean is a treasure, was a treasure. I live in Canada, and he was a Canadian author / radio personality. And what he would talk about on the radio and what he would write about in his Vinyl Cafe book series is a family. 4 members. Dave and Morley are the parents, and then they have 2 children. And he's put out many collections about this family. They're short stories that he has narrated on the radio, which is just so good. And actually, if you have Spotify, you can listen to him read you these stories. And if you don't, I bet you can find most of them on YouTube of him narrating them. And it's a collection of Christmas stories. This book has become almost a Christmas decoration to me. I take it out every year since it's come out, and we read it every year, and it's just so good. These stories will make you laugh so hard you'll cry. They'll make you so sad you'll cry. They will touch you right in the heart and the soul, as will all of Stuart's Vinyl Cafe stories. He passed away a couple years ago, right before this came out, actually. And they're just so good. And a lot of the tropes that I've talked about in this video are touched on throughout this collection. But even the stories that don't have any of those tropes, they're just so good. He's such a great writer. He's fantastic. And he's one of those people that if you're aware of him, you just love him, because there's something so good and so true about him and about these stories. So that's my recommendation for this video. Didn't feel right to talk about favorite Christmas stories and not recommend one. So there you go, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Also, do not forget, go down to the description box below, click on the link to Chloe's channel, watch her video. If you do, let her know that I sent you, so she knows. And I hope you guys are having a great week and that you have a great day. And I will see you guys again tomorrow. Bye.